Hey guys, welcome to my top 8 tips for playing the new desert map in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG. I've actually had the opportunity to play it a couple of times and it's a lot of fun. Really good. And it's been released on the test server just this morning. So I recommend you go pick it up if you have the opportunity. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of new weapons, vehicles, there's vaulting of course, and there's also a whole new map to play. So, there's a lot of things you need to know. I've chucked together these quick 8 tips to get you on. Tip number 1. Watch your range. So I've been lucky enough to find a couple of new weapons in the game. The one I was most surprised by, however, was the sawed-off shotgun. You pick it up, and it instantly replaces the gun in your pistol slot. I was amazed! A shotgun! It's a third weapon! What? I thought this was going to be revolutionary for the way I played. But then I was running around with it, testing it out, and I realized, as I tried to use it against the guy I had the drop on, I snuck up right behind him, but its effective range is, well, nothing. It will probably reach about 10 meters away, and I fired it further than that, and it did next to no damage. It is a shotgun, I understand, but that is not going to travel far. Not only this, but it is a loud-ass weapon. You use this in a group game, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So be careful with it. Maybe it's fantastic close range, but maybe stick with your normal shotguns, maybe with a chunk. Tip number 2. Watch where you run. Now, those of you who have played PUBG for more than about 5 minutes know that there's a lot of running from place to place in open fields to get to the next circle and stay out of the blue. You've got to run, hope and pray that the enemy doesn't find you. But you've got to remember that was on the old map, with hills and trees aplenty. What's the difference? Well, with the new one, just have a look. There's no grass, next to no trees. And if you go prone to hide, you're just going to be lying in a big, open, yellow field. I'm not saying there's nowhere to hide. You can hide in houses, there are some hills to hide behind, but generally it's going to be a lot harder. So that brings me round nicely to my next tip. Tip number 3. Grab a vehicle. Now this has always been a valuable piece of advice, but a little dangerous, as you're going to make a lot of noise in your brand new car. But in the new desert map, it has become a lot more important. The open areas seem to be a lot flatter than the previous map, and this gives you some fantastic opportunities for safe, long-distance drives. Fewer worries about bumpy roads, flipping your buggy, or sending you headfirst off your bike. But you've got to look out for the snipers, because you're going to be a prime target. Weaving in your vehicle has never been so important. If there's a long stretch of flat land and a sniper behind you, you know he's lining you up. Dodge like your life depends on it, because, you know, it does. Tip number 4. Watch the rooftops. Now, I had the opportunity to explore some of the taller buildings in the new map, and they're great. But there's certainly some sneaky places a good sniper can get to. And if he's got the circle and an 8 times, you're going to have a tough time getting him down off his perch. Keep an eye to the sky, and keep your backpack stocked with grenades. Chuck a few up there, you might have him running right off his roof. Speaking of which, tip number 5. Parkour it up. So, you've all seen how amazing new buildings look, and I just mentioned it myself. And I bet you're thinking, hey, I wonder if I can jump around up there. Well, the exciting thing is, you can. I recommend taking some time to learn your limits. But in case you're too lazy, have a look at some of the jumps I've managed to make right here. This is going to be more important as the player base gets used to the new map and they start finding the sneaky places to hide. Tip number 6. You're not as stealthy as you think you are. Similar to tip number 2, there's a lot of people who have gotten used to standing in certain ways or hiding in certain places where they think they're safe. I've got news for you. A new map means you've got to get used to this all over again. There's a lot of new places to learn. Survey your surroundings when you first come in. Don't leave your back open and exposed to the roads and fields. There's a lot of places where people have gotten used to finding short, shoulder-high walls, which just do not exist in the new map. Trust me, you'll thank me for it later. Tip number 7. Explore. I know this sounds dumb and obvious, but I know a lot of you have gotten used to your hiding spots, your loot houses. Maybe you always drop at the army base, or you're up at Hospi. Wherever you go, you've got to learn everything all over again. There's some good loot out there in the sticks, and great places to hide in the cities. Take the opportunity to drop somewhere new. Don't just stick with your comfort zone. Hump away from the pack and find your own little private area. Just give it a shot, and I promise you won't regret it. There's a lot to see out there. Finally, tip number 8. Try it. I know. It's a lame final tip, but if you get some practice in now before the game goes live, you'll be in an amazing position to kick some ass against those that have never even touched the test server. Remember, it's not all about the loot boxes. It's about the fun too. I know that's really cheesy, isn't it? But just go out there, give it a shot, and you'll see the new map is, if you ask me, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Try it. Do it. What have you got to lose? Okay. Well, thanks for listening to my tips. I hope they prove useful. And if you got any tips of your own, feel free to leave them in the comments. Feel free to subscribe or like this video if you enjoyed it. And well, it's time for you to get out there, play some PUBG, enjoy yourselves, and have a Merry Christmas. See you guys next time.